Okay, we are on Brachos Daf Zion, right at the top of the Amud on Zion Amud Aleph. Amar Rabbi Yochanan Mishra Rabbi Yosef. Rabbi Yochanan said the name of Rabbi Yosef. Baruch Hu Mispal. How do we know that Hashem prays Shana Amar, which is just in and of itself a difficult concept to understand? It's discussed by the Nefesh HaChaim. But regardless, the Gemara tells us we learn it from the pasuk of Yosem El Har Kochi V'Simakim Beis Tefilasi. You see that God's prayer is referring to Himself. It's written that God is speaking, and He's referring to His own tefillah. Tefillah Samleina Amar. It doesn't say their prayer. It says Tefilasi, my prayer. Mekan Shakadosh Baruch Hu Mispala. From here we see that Hashem davens. My Matzli, what does He pray? Amar Marzutra Bar Tovia Amar Rav. Marzutra Bar Tovia said the name of Rav. Yiratzon Lo Fanai, may it be my will. Shechashura Hamayis Ka'asai, that my Rachamim should conquer over my Ka'as, my anger. Yigalura Hamaya Midasai, and my Rachamim should overcome my other attributes. Visnaheg im banai b'midas rachamim, and that I should behave towards my children with rachamim. V'yichanes lahem lifnei mishur sadin, and in that way I'll be able to go beyond lifnei mishur sadin, from the straight judgment. This we can find, as we always find, that whenever Chazal or the Torah describes a attribute of God, it's in order for us to learn from His ways. This alafta b'darchav, that we go in alafta b'darchav, that you go in God's ways. So I think this is very important for us, that we see that the way that God prays is that He prays in order so that He could not react through anger when dealing with His children. I think for us as well, this is a lesson in that we have to be conscious of ourselves and daven to make sure that we can control ourselves in order to treat others properly, treat our children especially properly. Tanya, we learn in the Brisa, Amr Bishua ben Elisha. Rishmael said Rishmael, the son of Elisha, said, on Yom Kippur, Rabbi Shmuel was the Kohen Gadol. He entered into the Kodesh Kodashim in order to burn the Ketores. Right? Achtriel ka Hashem Tzvakos. I saw Achtriel, the countenance of Hashem Tzvakos, Shu Yoshiv al Kisei Ram V'Nisa, who was sitting on the holy throne, the Amar Li, and God said to me, Yishmael b'ni barcheni. He said to Yishmael, Yishmael, my son, give me a bracha. Amarti lo, I said to him, Yiratzon l'fanecha, shichapshu rachamecha es ka'asecha, yigalu rachamecha al mideisecha, visnaheg im banecha b'midas harachim. That just as God prays for His anger to be controlled, so too that was the bracha that Yishmael Kohen Gadol gave to Hashem. And you should go beyond the boundaries of the judgment. And then God nodded His head at me. Rashi says, Rashi says that what that means is that God, that's like saying Amen. So you see from Rashi, it could be, I don't know if we can extrapolate halacha from here, but Rashi tells us at least that saying Amen could be done through a body language gesture. Continues the Gemara. The Kamash Malana, and what else do we learn from the story? That the bracha of an ordinary person should not be unimportant in your eyes. You see that the bracha of Rabbi Shmuel compared to God, who is like a regular person, to us, the bracha was taken seriously as God asked for it, and therefore we should learn from the midos of Hashem, from the attributes of God, to take the bracha of a hediyot seriously. The Gemara continues. Before we continue the Gemara, Rabbi Yashet points out from Rabbi Yonis and Habshitz in the Yaros Tavash that what we have a new listener with us in the Daf Yomi. someone who's going to learn. He's up to Daf Zion. This is just Chazar for him. He's gone through this many, many times. So the Yaris Davash tells us that one could ask a question on this Gemara that you don't actually learn the importance of a bracha of a regular person from this Gemara, because in fact it was God that asked for the bracha. So God was saying that I'm asking for this bracha. Maybe the bracha of a regular person is kala be'enecha, is just stam, unless God says that this is the type of question, this is the type of bracha that should be given. But the Yaris Davash points out that you see from the fact that God even asked for it from a head yot compared to him, that makes the bracha of a head yot something important. Okay, the Gemara continues. The Amar Rabbi Yochanan Rishon Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yochanan said the name Rabbi Yossi. How do we know that a person should not try to appease a person when they are angry? As the pasuk says, "Panai yelchu v'hanichosi lach," that my face will go, and you have to give them rest. Amar Lakash Baruch Hu Moshe. Hashem says to Moshe, "Hemten li ad she'avru panim shel zam," that you have to wait until the anger passes. The aniach lecha, and then I shall give you rest. So the Stipler points out over here. That's not over here. The Stipler in the Birchas Peretz and Parshas Ve'era. And they say on the Torah, so the Stipler points out that when during the Makkah of Sardea, so Rashi tells us that there were potentially two things that happened. Either it was one big frog that every time they hit, the frog opens its mouth and more frogs would come out, or it was a swarm of many, 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 many frogs that came from the river. The disciple says that if you take the approach that it was one large frog, every time they hit it, more frogs would come out. So after the first or second time that they hit the frog, they should stop. So what do you see? That the power of kas, the power of anger, is so strong that you could be hitting the thing that's causing you pain, and it's not going to stop you, which is why you have to wait for a person to calm down before trying to appease them. The Stipler points out that this is shot as well with Balak, with Bilam. I'm sorry, Bilam Harasha went to curse the Jews. We'll get back to you very soon. That when Bilam Harasha went to go curse the Jews, so his donkey led him astray, led him off the road, and Bilam hit the donkey 3 times. And the donkey then, the Torah says, "V'yiftach Hashem es pi ha'ason," and God opened the mouth of the donkey, and the donkey said that, "Why are you hitting me? Is shalosh regalim? That why are you hitting me these 3 times?" So what did Bilam do? So Bilam responded to the donkey, and he said, "Because you were messing me up, and that I'm gonna kill you." But one has to be bothered by, why didn't Bilam just faint? There was a donkey that was talking to him. He should have fainted on the spot. It's an open miracle happening in front of his face, because anger is so strong. There could be a donkey talking to you, and you wouldn't even notice. Let's continue. So we see from this Gemara that God could get angry. We are 3 lines from where the lines get medium-sized on that Zion and without. It continues the Gemara. God gets angry. And yes, the Tanya, as the Brisa teaches, that that God gets angry every single day. But Kama Zomo. And how long? How long does this anger last? Rega, a moment. The Kama Rega. Now, how long is a moment? So listen to what the Gemara says. So short. This is how long a moment is. Echad mechaneshes ribua ushmonas alafim ushmona meot ushmonim ushmona bisha'a. That there are 58,888 parts of an hour. One of those parts is a rega. Vazuhi rega. Ve'ein kol bria yachol lechavim ososha. And we are not able to figure out when is a rega. A regular person can't figure out when a rega is to know when God is angry. As the pasuk says with regard to Bilam, Vayoda das Elyon, that Bilam did understand this. That Bilam did know. That the Gemara said, "Chutz Bilam Arasha," except for Bilam Arasha, he was the one that did know, and that's learned from the pasuk. We just spoke before. Now, Bilam didn't even understand that what was on his animal's mind, what was on his donkey's mind. However, Das Elyon Havayada, but he knew when the exact moment that God got angry. Elamalami, this comes to teach. No, this is exactly what the pasuk is going to teach. That is what the pasuk is teaching. That Bilam was able to know the exact moment that Hashem got angry. Say goodbye.
I feel.
And this is what the Navi, teaches to Bnei Yisrael. Ami zacharna ma ya'atz Balak melech Moab. That my people remember what Balak, the king of Moab, had planned to do. Ma'ila ma'an das stakos Hashem. The rest of the pasuk continues, and it says that so that you can understand the understanding of Hashem. Amar Rabbi Elazar said, Amar leHakadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael. Hashem said to the Jewish people, "To kamat tzedakos asiti imachem." You should see how great my tzedakos are, my righteousness is, the benevolence I've done for you. Shelo ta'asti b'yamei Bilam harasha, that I did not get angry during the days of Bilam. Because why is that so great? Shalmalik ta'asti, because if I had become angry, lo nishtayer misonhem shel Yisrael sarid upalit, that because if I did it, there would be no remnants of Israel remaining. Behind the Amar le Bilam le Balak, and this is what Bilam said to Balak: Ma ekov lo kaboel. That how can I curse the Jews? God has not given me permission to do so. Ma ez om lo za'am. And how could I get angry? Hashem has not become angry. We see that all the days of Bilam Arasha, God did not get angry. Kama zalmo, and how long did the anger last? Rega v'kama rega, lasted one moment. How long is a moment? Amar Rabbi Avram said, Yisem Rabbi Avina, rega ke nimra, that a moment is equal to the time it takes to say rega. Minalan derega rasach. Now, how do we know that God only angers for a moment? That his anger is only for a moment. We could also learn mehacha from the following pasuk. Chavi kimat rega ad yavor za'am. That I hide for a moment until the anger passes. Now the Gemara wonders, how long does God anger for? The Amos, not how long, but when, the Amos Rasach, when does God become angry? Amar Abaye says, Bahanach Tlas Shai Kamaisa, that it happens during the first 3 hours of the day, Kihivra Kar Balta the Tanagola, when the comb of the rooster becomes white, the Kai Achad Kara, and he stands on one foot. Kol shata ushata nami kaihachi. But hold on, there are plenty of other times where a rooster looks like this. Kol shata is ba shurake sumki. Now, all of the times there are red streaks in the comb. Bahishata lesba shuraki sumki. And at this moment, there are no other streaks in it. It is all white. Ahu Hahut Seduki, Dehave B'Shivushe de Rabbi Shua ben Levi, that there was a certain Tzeduki, a heretic, who was in the neighborhood of Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Have Kamitzayr Leituva Bekroi. He always used to harass Rabbi Yeshua by asking different questions. Yom Achad Shakal Chanigola V'Ukim Ben Kared Arsa. That one day Rabbi Yeshua took a rooster and tied it between the feet of his bed, the Ainba, and he would stare at it, and he thought, the Sar, Ki Mata Yishaka, that when the moment comes where the comb turns pale, Alte, then he'll give a curse to this heretic. Ki Mata Hi Shata Nayim. And when the moment came, Rabbi Shua actually fell asleep at that exact moment. Amar, and he said, he says that this teaches that this is not the proper way to act. You have to have mercy for all of God's creations, even the bad ones, the ones that seem bad to us. And it's also, if the righteous punish, it's not a good thing. Okay, more about the precise moment of when God gets angry. Tana Mishmei to Reb Meir, that a brisa is taught in the name of Reb Meir. B'shasha chama zorachas, when the sun shines, and the idolatrous kings of the world pray to their idols. So that is the moment that God gets angry, as you can imagine. The Amar Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Yochanan says in the name of Rabbi Yossi, Tova Mardos Achas Belibo Shel Adam, that the one impulse of self-discipline inside of a person's heart is better. Yoser Mikama Malkios is better than many lashes. Shenamar, as the pasuk says, Viridfa es me'avea, that she will pursue her lovers. The pasuk teaches us that the Amra Elcha v'Ashuva El Ishi Harishon Ki Tov Li Az Me'ata. And she'll say that she'll return back to her first husband because it was better for me. It's better than 100 lashes. Shenamar, the pasuk says, Tachas Gara Mav'in Nahakos Ksil Mea. That the humbleness that is evident in understanding is like 100 lashes. It has that kind of a level of kapara if someone controls themselves in that way. That there were three things that Moshe asked God, and he granted them to him. He asked that divine presence always stay with the Jewish people, and God agreed. The pasuk says, "Halo belachtecha imanu," that God accompanies us. He asked that the Shekhinah does not rest amongst the idolaters. He agreed. The third request of Moshe is that Moshe wants to know the ways of God, namely, whether how to understand how bad things happen to good people, and the inverse of how good things happen to bad people. And he said, and he granted this wish. Moshe said to Hashem, why is it that there are righteous people that good things happen, and good people that have bad things happen? Russia Vitogo, you have bad people that have good things happen to them. Russia Viralo, you have bad people that bad things happen to. Now it's a funny thing. there are 4 parts to Moshe's question. You would assume that there should only be 2 parts to this question. The 2 parts should be just why is it that bad things happen to good people and good things happen to bad people? But he's saying that why is it there are good things that happen to good people, and he includes also bad things happen to bad people? Shouldn't that be obvious? In fact, the question is only driven by the fact that there's an assumption that bad things should happen to bad people and good things should happen to good people. So I think the answer is in Sefer Eov. And in Sefer Eov, we learn of the friends that come to comfort Eov after he's being stricken. He lost his entire family. He lost all of his parnasa. He is stricken with physical disease, and it's just a horrible situation for him. And his friends are basically coming and saying that he must have done something wrong. And Eov saying that, no, I don't deserve this, and I didn't do anything wrong. And then finally Hashem shows up at the end of the story, and he says, you're both wrong. That you cannot lo darkechem es darchai, that you velo machshavosechem machshavosai, that you can't understand my ways, you can't understand my thought process. Meaning, we should not think that any good that happens in our lives is because we deserve it, or any bad that happens in our lives is because we quote unquote deserved this particular thing because we did something bad, or we got something good because we did something good. That the question of why do bad things happen to good people and good things happen to bad people is just as strong of a question as why do good things happen to good people and why do bad things happen to bad people. Okay, continues the Gemara. Amar lo Moshe. God said back to Moshe, Tzadik v'tovlo. Now God answers Moshe. He says that a Tzadik v'tovlo is Tzadik ben Tzadik, a righteous person that good things happen to is because he's the son of a Tzadik. Tzadik v'ralo. Bad things happening to him is because he's a tzaddik ben Russia. Russia the Tovlo. If there are good things happening to Russia, it's a Russia ben tzaddik. And if it's a Russia viralo and bad things happen to a Russia, that's Russia ben Russia. Amar Mar. Mar said the following: Tzaddik v'tovlo, tzaddik ben tzaddik, Russia, tzaddik viralo, tzaddik ben Russia. Is that true? Ini, is this true? The Haksiv, the pasuk says, Poked avon avos al banim, uksiv ubanim lo yamutu al avos. What do you see? You see there's a contradiction in the verses that the sins of a father should not affect their children. But then you have another pasuk. He says that they do affect the children. So I don't understand. There seems to be a contradiction between these two verses. Mashinan, and he answered, Lo kasha, not a problem. This is, you're going to get punished if the children took on the same attributes of their father, as opposed to when you do not take it on. What do we see? There's an issue here in that we said before, the answer that God gave was that bad things are going to happen to a tzaddik if he's a tzaddik ben Russia. But if the tzaddik is clearly not following his father's ways because he is called a tzaddik, not a Russia, so then he should not be punished for his father's wrongdoings. Rather, this is what God said to Moshe. Tzaddik v'tovlo, tzaddik gomer. No, a tzaddik that good things happen to, that is a tzaddik gomer. Completely righteous person. Tzaddik v'ralo, tzaddik she'eno gomer. A tzaddik that bad things happen to, it's because he's not a complete tzaddik, he's close to a tzaddik. Russia v'tovlo, Russia she'eno gomer. If good things happen to a Russia, that's because they're not a totally bad guy, they're not evil. Russia v'ralo is Russia gomer. That's someone who is completely wicked, that is an evil person. Upliyat Rav Meir, and this actually disagrees, Rav Yosef disagrees with Rav Meir. The Amr Rav Meir, as Rav Meir said, Shtayim natnu lo, v'achas lo natnu lo, that there that of the requests that Moshe made, only 2 were granted to him and 1 was not. Shenamar v'chanoti et asher achon afal pi she'en hagun v'rechantes asher achen afal pi she'eno hagun. That I will bestow favor even though you don't deserve it, and I will bestow mercy even though you do not deserve it. Vayomer lo tuhal leroses panayim. He said to Moshe, "You are not able to see my face." Tana mishmei Rabbi Shua ben Karcha. there's a brayso talking named Yeshua ben Karka Kachamaloh Kashbaruch Moshe. This is what Hashem was saying to Moshe. Kishatziti lo ratzita, that when I wanted to reveal myself to you by the sneh or by Aish, by the sneh, you didn't want to come. After Shata wrote it, Amy wrote it, but now that you want it, I don't want to. Pliga de Reb Shmuel bar Nachmani Amr Yochanan. This argues with Reb Shmuel bar Nachmani, the name of Reb Yonasan. Damar Reb Shmuel bar Nachmani Amr Yonasan. The schar shalosh zacha le shalosh, that a reward for three things that Moshe did by the sneh. Hashem will reward him with three things. The schar v'yaster Moshe panav, that Hashem turned his face. Zacha leklas star panim, that he merited to have a shining face. B'schar ki yira'eh, for reward for having awe of the moment. Zacha li yiru'u megeshes elav, he merited that people would have awe of him. B'schar mehabit, and in reward for gazing at the bush. Zacha le utmunas Hashem yabit, that he will be able to gaze at the image of God. Vasirosi es kapai virata es achorai. So Hashem said he could see the back of him. Amar Rav Chama bar Bizna Amar Rav Shimon ben Chasida. Rav Chama bar Bizna said Rav Shimon ben Chasida. Lama shehir HaKadosh Baruch Hu the Moshe Kesher shel Tefillin. This teaches us that Hashem showed Moshe Rabbeinu his tefillin. Ba'amar Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Rabbi Yossi. And Rabbi Yochanan says in the name of Rabbi Yossi. That anything that Hashem does is for the good. Anything that Hashem says is for the good. Afilu al tanai. Even if there are conditions that are made from God, lo chazar, he's not going to rescind. We know why. How do we know this? Me Moshe Rabbeinu, from Moshe Shnei Harith many v'ash midem v'gomer v'esa otcha l'goy atzom. That Hashem promises that he is going to make us into a mighty nation. Af al gav de ba Moshe rachme alev de milsa ubatle. Even though Moshe davened for the Jewish people, even so, the promise that Hashem made to Moshe still are being fulfilled by us, the descendants. Shnei but in Moshe Gershom ben Elazar, sons of Moshe are Gershom and Elazar, Ayub ben Elazar, Rachva Harosh, Ubnei Rachva Rabu le Mala. The Tani Rav Yosef and Rav Yosef taught the Mala Meshishim Ruba. There were more than 600,000 descendants from Rachvia, the grandson of Moshe. Asya Rabbe. This is learned from the Gezerah Shava. The Chsiv Hacha Rabu le Mala, because the pasuk says that they exceeded numerously. The Chsiv Hacha Meisal Pershu V'Yishurtzu V'Yirbu, and it says when we were in Mitzrayim that we grew and we multiplied as a nation, and we knew that there were 600,000 Jews that left Egypt. Rav Elyashiv points out that Rav Elyashiv said in his shir on Maseches Brachos, he said that, remember earlier we had the Gemara on Daf Dalet Amud Aleph. The Gemara over there said the Rabbi Yaakov bar Idi Rami, that Rabbi Yaakov bar Idi had a kasha. He said, "Ksiv, that God promises Yaakov that Yaakov he's going to be protected. Ksiv Yaakov meod, and Yaakov nevertheless was scared. Why? Shema Amar Shema Yirgom Hachet, because maybe sin is going to get the best of him, and therefore he'll lose the promise. But hold on, what did our Gemara just teach? Our Gemara just taught that no matter what, God keeps to his word if it's a good promise. So what is the difference? How do we resolve this contradiction? So Le'ajav quotes from the Hagdama of the Rambam to Seder Zerayim. The Rambam says that Dafka Nevuah Shenamro LeNavi LaHavtiach B'nei Adam Achirim B'Bsora Tova B'Zeh Lo Yachzer B'Hakadosh Baruch Hu. The only time where God will not go back on a positive statement is if he tells this to a Navi and it's about Rabbim, it's about others. In such a scenario, God is not going to back out. Why? Explains the Rambam, because if he did, then the people would lose faith in the Navi. And God needs to have that people have faith in the Navi in order so that they listen to the Navi to become closer to him. That was the purpose of the Navi, to be the medium from the people from God to the people. And if the people lost faith in the Navi, God would lose out on that. Therefore, God would not back out on a good statement that the Navi tells over, because even if the Jews, quote unquote, lost their reward for that good thing, because they'll lose faith in the Navi. Over here, though, we're talking about a haftacha, a promise that God is making to a yachid. It's a personal promise that he's making to Yaakov, that I'm going to protect you. That God can back out on, because it's not contingent on anyone believing Yaakov, because this is something that is personal and only affects Yaakov. So then they, in the shir, they asked Rav Elyashiv, they said that, hold on, Yaakov's protection is tali on the klal. It is tali on Achirim. Why? Because Yaakov being protected is, if Yaakov wasn't protected, we wouldn't have Klal Yisrael. So therefore, it should be the same thing. Hashem should not be able to back out, and therefore, because we need the Jewish people to exist. This is totally on other people. So Rav Elyashiv explained. He said, no, hold on. When we say tali on other people, it's in order so that people will not lose their belief in the Navi, since at the time there was no one, there was no haftacha being made on behalf of Klal Yisrael that Yaakov was relaying. Therefore, Hashem can back out from it, because someone else could be the one that will be the one to lead to start Klal Yisrael, to be the one of the avos. Doesn't have to be Yaakov potentially. And therefore, the chait could be enough to prevent the shmira, because this is something that people do not know about, and therefore will not lose faith in the Navi. Okay, let us continue. We are now on, turn the Amud, we are now on Zion Amud Beis. Continues the Gemara. Amar Rav Yochanan Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. Rav Yochanan said the name of Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. The Yom Shabar Kadosh Baruch Hu Es Ha'olam, from the day that God created the world, Lo Haya Adam Shekar LaKadosh Baruch Hu Adon, that there was no one who called Hashem Adon, Master, until Ad Sheba Avram B'Kavar Adon, until Avram came and called him Master. Shne'emar V'Yomer Adonai Elohim B'Meh Eda Ki Ershana, that he said that Hashem, how do I know that he referred to him as Adonai? How do I know that my people that my descendants are going to inherit the land? Amar Rav. Rav said, Af Daniel, even Daniel lo na'ana ela b'shvil Avram, even Daniel was only answered because of Avram. Shne'emar, as the pasuk says, V'ata Shema Eloheinu es tfilas avdecha v'al tachanunav, that Hashem should listen to the prayers of his servant. V'yerpan necha amikdashecha hashmem leman Adonai. Leman chabayle. It should have said for your sake, meaning for the sake of Hashem. But what did the pasuk say? Leman Adonai, for the sake of my Lord, for my master. Ela leman Avraham shekara Adon. No, this is on behalf of, he's referencing the fact that Avram called Hashem Adon. Va'amar Rav Yochanan Mishum Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, and Rav Yochanan said the name of Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, Minayin She'ein Meratzim La'adam B'Shas Kas. So how do we know that the person is not supposed to appease someone at the moment of their anger? She'emar Panay Yelchu V'Hanichosi Lach, that my face will go and I will give you rest. Va'amar Yochanan Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. Yochanan said the name of Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, Miyosh Baruch Hu Esalam, from the day that God created the world. V'Haya Adam Shehodel Kodesh Baruch Hu. Until Leah came and gave Hoda and gave thanks to Hashem when she named Yehuda, because the pasuk says Hapam Hoda es Hashem. That's why she named him Yehuda, because now this is the time that she is going to thank God. It's a funny thing that I would imagine Leah was very happy and very thankful when she had Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda. It's Apam Odesh, and this time I'm going to thank God. She didn't thank God before. How could that be? So Rashi tells us that Leah knew through Nevuah that if there are 4 wives of Yaakov, then each one should bear 3 children, because she knew that there were going to be 12 sons. So therefore, she was given Reuven, Shimon, Levi, and that she thought was going to be her quota. Then when she had Yehuda, now Hapah Moses Hashem. We see the part of the importance of giving proper Hakaras Hatov is to see the complete picture. When you take a step back and you look at why is this unique and special and an amazing gift that God is giving me, it's because I took a step back and I noticed it from that kind of a perspective. Then it's Apam Hashem. Then you can give true thanks. We find that by Purim as well, that with regard to Purim, the Gemara tells us that we re-accepted the Torah. Rashi tells us me'avas hanes, love of the miracle. Hold on, when a miracle happens, you love the outcome of the miracle, not the miracle itself. If you're stuck in traffic and then things just open up for you, you don't care how you got home or to your destination when you needed to get there. It could be a crane that picked up and moved all the traffic, or all the traffic just moved out of the way, or it could be you teleported there. You don't care how you get there as long as you get there. That's what you're celebrating, the result of the miracle, not the miracle itself. So why does Rashi say that we re-accepted the Torah by the Purim story, Me'avas Hanes, love of the miracle? So the Maharal Miprag explains that what was the miracle of Purim? So if you take a step back and you think about it, there was no one particular miracle. There was no sea that split. There weren't candles that lasted 8 days. What was the one miracle of Purim? So there wasn't one miracle. There were many miracles that happened over the course of a 9-year period, and there were these small, little, seemingly insignificant events. But when you take a look at the entire picture, then you can give proper hodah. It's me'avas hanes, love of the general miracle that God functions for us in that way on a daily basis. That's why the Shulchan Aruch says, Rav Asher Weiss points out that's why the Shulchan Aruch says that by Megillas Esther, the Shulchan Aruch says we have to unroll the entire Megillah, and it has to be read like an Igeris, like a letter, like an Igeris, like this, and you unroll the whole thing. But the Shulchan Aruch says, why? In order to do Parsumei Nisa, to publicize the miracle, because in order to get a true sense of the miracle, you have to see the entire picture, the entire story, and that is how Hapam Odes Hashem. That's how you give true thanks to God. That's why Leah was the first one, the Gemara is saying, that gives thanks, because it was Leah who saw the full picture, and that's how you give proper thanks to Hashem. Now we mentioned Leah naming her 4th son Yehuda, the Gemara now talks about naming her first son Reuven, Amar Reb Elazar. Reb Elazar said, Amar Leah. Leah said, Reu ma ben b'nei, ma ben b'ni, and leben chami, and my the son of my father-in-law. Who's her father-in-law? Her father-in-law is Yitzchak, and she's referring to Esau. The difference between Reuven and Esau. The Elu ben Chami afagav demidate zavne bichirusa. That with regard to Esau, even though he voluntarily sold his bechorah to Yaakov, the pasuk says, so Yaakov, that Esau sold his birthright to Yaakov. Chazu maksiv bey. See what is written about Esau. Yishtom Esau es Yaakov. That nevertheless Esau hated Yaakov. Ksiv, and the pasuk said, "Vayomer hachi kra shmo Yaakov." That Vayomer hachi kra shmo Yaakov v'yakveni zeh pa'amayim. His name is Yaakov because Yaakov outwitted him 2 times. Ilu beni, however, my son Reuven afagad al karche shachme Yosef b'chirusa minei. Even though Yosef took the chora from Reuven, as the Bible says, ubechalu yitzueni aviv nitna b'charaso b'nei Yosef. That the firstbornhood was given to Yosef, and nevertheless, Reuven was not jealous of Yosef. As the pasuk says, Reuven went to go save Yosef from the hands of the brothers. Rus, let's expound on the name Rus. Now that we're expounding on names, my Rus, what is the significance of the name Rus? Amar Reb Yochanan says, "Shezachta v'yatza mimena David," that she was zocha to David coming out of her. Sheruila Hakadosh Baruch Hu b'shiros v'tishbrachos. The one who sang to Hashem and gave praises to Hashem through song. Minalam dishma garim. Now, how do we know that her name occurred for future occurrences, or a name in general is prophetic in a sense? Rabbi Elazar says the Amar Kraz, the pasuk says l'chu chazu ma'ol mif'alos Hashem asher sam shemos ba'aretz. They go see what God does. That he brings devastation to the land. Atikri shamos, don't pronounce it as shamos, as devastation, ela shemos, that he gives names, that there are different names in the world. Continues the Gemara. The Amar of Yechon Mishum Reb Shimon bar Yochai. Reb Yochanan said the name Reb Shimon bar Yochai. Kasha tarbus ra b'toch beiso shel adam yosher milchamas gog u'magog. That if you have a child that goes off the beaten path, and it causes tarbus ra, it causes difficulties in the home, a lack of shalom bayis through a child, that is worse than the milchamas gog u'magog, the war of Gog u'magog. Shenamar mizmor leDavid b'bracho mipnei Avshalom b'no. And then later it says, Hashem marabu tzarai rabim kamim alai, that when David HaMelech is writing a song as he's running away from Avshalom, his son, who was trying to kill him, he says that how terrible are the things I have to go through, is what he says. He says to Hashem that so many tried to bring me down. However, with regard to Gog u'magog, the pasuk says, "Lama ragshu goyim ulomim yahagu rik." Why do people gather and people talk nothingness? But it doesn't say anything about how horrible the situation is. Mizmor leDavid b'rachos mipnei Avshalom b'no. Hold on. The pasuk says that David HaMelech wrote a song while he was running away from his son Avshalom, who was trying to kill him. Mizmor leDavid, kina leDavid mibayle. It should have said that David HaMelech was lamenting, like kinnis, like we see on Tishba. Not Mizmor. Reb Shimon ben Avshalom. Reb Shimon ben Avshalom said, "Mashal lema hadavar domet." That I'll tell you what this is like, an analogy. That a person, he receives he has a loan document. Kodem sheparu haya atzav. Before he pays, he's troubled. How's he going to pay it up? But after sheparu samech, once it's already paid up, okay, that's great. It's in the past now. Achkin David, so too with regard to David. Kivan Sha'amar Lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu, since Hashem said to him, Hineni Ma'akim Alecha Rab Beitecha, I will take the evil away from your house. Haya Atzav. David Melech was, as you can imagine, very upset. Amar Shema Eved or Mamzer Hu Delo Chayes Alai. That what is this evil that's going to be in my house? Maybe it's going to be a slave, or it's going to be a mamzer that's going to be in my house, and who's going to have pity on me? Kiva the Chazad Avshalom, who, since he saw that it was just Avshalom, who all he wanted to do was just kill him, that is not as bad as what David HaMelech's worst case scenario was in his head. And therefore, Mishum Hachi Amar Mizmor, and that's why he said Mizmor. Again, you see the importance of seeing the full picture. It can change your perspective from a kina into a Mizmor. But Amar Rabbi Yochanan Mishum, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Rabbi Yochanan said in there, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Mutar le his ra'agos v'rishayim ba'olam hazeh. It's permissible to fight with Rishayim in this world. Shnei Amar, Ozve Torah Yahalu Rasha, V'shamrei Torah Yisgaru Bam. That those who forsake the Torah, Ozve Torah, and they give praise to the wicked, the Shomrei Torah, the ones that adhere to the Torah, are going to fight them. Tani Nami Hachi, there's also a brayso like this. Rabbi Dostai, Rabbi Masun, Omer Dostai, Zenem Ramasa Mutar, Lesragus Rishayim Bolam Hazeh. One is allowed to fight with Rishayim in this world. Shnei Amar, Ozve Torah, Rasha V'Gomer, same pasuk game. And if someone should say to you the following Haksiv, the pasuk says Al Tidchar B'Mireim, that you should not fight with the wicked. Al Tikneh B'Osei Avla, that you should not be zealous and fight against the evildoers. And more lo mi libo nokva omer kain, that you should reply to him. You should say that one could understand the pasuk in this way. Ella, but rather the correct way to understand the pasuk is al tidchar b'mirayim, that you do not have to compete with the wicked, lihiyos kimirayim, to act like them. However, al tiknaya be'osei avla, that you should not have kina, meaning you should not be jealous of evildoers, to be like them. The Omer, and say, al yikne libecha v'chataim ki im b'yiras Hashem kol hayom. That you have to fear Hashem all the time. But is this so true that a person is allowed to fight against someone who's a Rasha? The Amr Yitzchak says, Im Ra'itza Rasha Shahasha Maschekes Lo Aptit Garabo, that if you see a Rasha that things are going well for him, don't start up with him. Shnei Amar, the pasuk says, Yehudar Chav B'chol Eis, that his ways are always to be successful. And not only that, but he's actually going to win in a din, in judgment. Shnei Amar, as the pasuk says, Mar mishpatecha negdo. V'lo'od ela shira b'tzarav. And not only that, but that the Russia who has things that are going well for him are actually going to see his foes, meaning good people, fall. Shnei Amar kol sorav yafiach bahem. That all of his enemies, he is going to kind of yafiach bahem. It's going to be nothing to him. Lo kasha, not a problem. Hav mili bidei. How are we going to deal with this? That are you allowed to set up with an evil person or not? So not a problem. It depends if it's something personal or if it's b'mili d'shmaya. When it comes to mili b'shmaya, that is when you could start up with an evil person. Things for Hashem. Vi by Sema, defending the Torah and the like. Vi by Sema, another answer. Ha v'ha b'mili d'shmaya. Both are referring to standing up for Hashem and for the Torah. L'kasha, it's still not a problem. Ha b'rasha sha'asham aschakis lo. Even when it comes to standing up for the Torah, you have to be careful not to do it when the Russia has things going well for Nabi by saying another answer. No, let's assume that things are going well for the Russia in both scenarios. So when is it that you can stand up for the Russia? Not a problem. If you're a complete tzaddik, then you can take on the Russia no matter what situation the Russia is in. Damar Rav Huna, as Rav Huna said, Lama tabit bogdim tachrish bala Russia tzadik mi menu ki Russia tzadik. Hold on. The pasuk seems to say that the wicked can swallow up a righteous person. Hashem lo yazvenu biyado, that Hashem is not going to abandon the righteous. Lo yeune letzadik kol other, that there's not going to be evil that falls onto the righteous person. Rather, the tzaddik is going to swallow up the wicked person. Tzaddik gomer enu balea. However, a tzaddik gomer, a completely righteous person, is not going to be swallowed up by the wicked. Another interpretation, another answer is the following: Shah maschakes lo shiny. When the Russia has good fortune, so it's a different situation. And that is when you should not start up with the Russia. Another statement from Rabbi Yechon Mishum Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. By the two dots toward the bottom of Zion Amud Beis. The Amar Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. And Reb Shimon Bar Yochai said the following: so anyone who has a makom kavua, oivav noflim tachtav, then their enemies are going to fall under him. Shnei Amar, the pasuk says, v'samti makom le'amili Yisrael, that Hashem set a place for us, and v'tativ v'shachein tachtav, and so that they can live in their own place. V'lo yir gaz od, and they will not become disturbed. Le'yosifu b'nei avla la'anoso kasher b'rishona, and bad people are not going to bother them. Rav Huna Rami, Rav Huna poses a contradiction. Ksiv la'anoso uksiv lekaloso. It says elsewhere that that they are not going to destroy them, but destroy means complete destruction, not just annoy them or torment them. And it's only that God is going to make sure that we don't become destroyed. B'tchila la'anoso, the pasuk in Shmuel Beis that was before is referring to when the Beis Hamikdash was first built. Then they're not going to be able to even bother us. However, by the end of the story, after destruction of the Beis Hamikdash, so then in such a scenario, they will be able to torment us, unfortunately, and that's what we're experiencing today. But they will never be able to destroy us, even today. That greater is being an attendant for Torah than even studying Torah. Shne'amar, Po Elisha ben Shafat asher yitzak mayim al yidei Eliyahu, that Elisha poured water, washed Eliyahu Navi's hands. Lama loy ne'amar, doesn't say that Elisha learned by Eliyahu Navi, which we're assuming he did. Ella yizak, rather the pasuk only talks about the fact that he washed Eliyahu Navi's hands. We learn from here that greater is learning. Greater is learning from the ways of your Rebbe than actually learning from his Torah. Rabbi Yashiv points out over here, he says that if you look at the Marsha, the greatness of shimush, of attaching yourself and being mentored by a Talmid Chacham is more important than even learning their Torah. He says because there are halachos that might be in Shulchan Aruch, or you might find it in Gemara, that you need to know how to apply them properly. When you are do shemush, when you are being mentored and you stick together with the Talmud Chacham, so just by watching when he says what or the way he says what, it can give you a whole new level of understanding to the halachos that you already learned. Learning how to apply something on some level is even more important than the information itself. Okay, we'll stop here. 3 lines from the bottom of Zayin Obeis to do Daf Ches, God willing, tomorrow.